No, you're not tired. You're just comfortable in your excuses. You say you're exhausted, but you haven't even started. You call it burnout, but it's fear. Fear of pain, fear of pressure, fear of becoming something real. You lied to yourself so well, you actually believed you were giving your best. But deep down, you know you're hiding. Behind comfort, behind delay, behind someday. Those who rise, they felt the same fear, but they showed up anyway. They didn't wait to feel ready. They built readiness in the chaos. So stop asking when. Stop saying soon. You are not unlucky. You are undisciplined. And every second you waste, someone else is becoming unstoppable. So, what are you gonna do now?
Oh, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off, man. We'll get a pizza and shit, watch the game. No, bro. Get your fucking shit on, man. Stop being a punk. Motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed. When you can find drive in your own doubt, fear, insecurities, you become very unstoppable.
The ones who grind, get it, period. You can't be sitting here every day being piss poor expecting to be successful. That's not how it works. Every single day is clockwork, grind. And what you do is not gonna cut it. So don't be sitting here surprised when you live in an average life because you're doing average things.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I fucking thrive in that shit. That's the only place to be. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain. So when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it.
But what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if people laugh at me?
We suffer more in imagination than in reality. The mind is a strange thing. It builds monsters in the dark, then runs from them. It writes tragedies before life has even whispered a challenge. And so you suffer, not once, but 100 times, at every thought, every doubt, every what if. But reality is simpler. The blow, when it comes, is sharp, but brief. It's the waiting, the worrying, the imagining that truly wears you down. Most of what you fear will never come, and if it does, you will face it with strength you forgot you had. Fear is loud, but it is a liar. Silence the mind, and you silence the suffering.
Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the fucking mold, guys. You get the fuck out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. That's psychotic behavior. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe. Switch it up if you want a different result, man. Why not try it, man? Shock the system. Start with an earthquake, man. What I mean by that is, yeah, get up at 4 in the fucking morning one day. Just one day. And go for a fucking run. Commit to one day. And see how you feel. You can't talk it all the time. You gotta walk it. Commit to one day. Try it. See how it feels. Getting up that fucking early when everyone else is asleep. Or when it's that cold. When everybody else says, no, this is not comfortable. We shouldn't do this. You say, yes, motherfucker, I'm gonna introduce myself to it.
You're not going to make it. That's what the voice in your head whispers. Every time you hesitate, every time you make another excuse. Too tired, too late, too much going on. Tomorrow, you wait for motivation. You scroll through quotes. You say you're not ready, but what you really mean is you're afraid. Afraid to fail, afraid to be seen trying, afraid that they're right, that you're not built for this. But the truth? Everyone starts broken. Everyone starts unready. Winners are not born with less doubt. They just move anyway. They bleed. They lose. And then they stand up again. So next time that voice says, you're not going to make it, you smile and keep moving because you've heard it all before and you're still here.
It's never going to be easy. You're always going to feel like you're f***ed up. You're always going to feel like you're behind. You're always going to feel like, Maybe I'm not any good at this, but dude, if you keep showing up and you keep executing and you keep doing what you're supposed to do, the results will sprout and you will gain a little bit more confidence. But dude, even when you gain more confidence, you'll be at a new level. And when you're at a new level, guess what happens? All the same shit happens again. You doubt, you question, you're insecure, you push harder, you go to the next level. Just a repetitive cycle, dude. It's a hard life. It doesn't mean you're f***ed up.
The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in a prison. There is no need for bars or guards, only illusions. A man who believes he is free will never dream of revolt. Give him comfort, give him routine, give him a shallow sense of purpose, and he will not ask questions. He will not search for the door because he does not believe he is locked inside. That is the genius of it. To enslave a soul without resistance, to make him love his own submission. But the moment a man begins to doubt, to sense that the world around him is a facade, then the real suffering begins, the suffering of awareness. And yet, it is better to suffer in truth than to live peacefully in a lie.
You cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.
Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're going to figure it out.
If you will change, everything will change for you. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Start working on yourself, making these personal changes. He said it'll all change for you.
I shall either find a way or make one. If we cannot find a road, we will make one with our swords. When the situation is dire, that is when we fight hardest. What man can dare, man can do. The world breaks those who are weak and rewards those who rise above it. Do not seek comfort, seek challenge. Do not wish for an easy life. Wish for the strength to endure a hard one. Suffering is not your enemy, it is your teacher.
How badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it. There's an interesting story was told about Socrates, and Socrates was talking to one of his students, and the student said, I am hungry for knowledge. What can I do to increase my knowledge? And Socrates said, knowledge is something that is readily available and easy to get if you want it bad enough. He said, I'm sure I want it badly enough. And Socrates said, come with me. And he walked him offshore into the ocean. And they got about 3 or 4 feet. And Socrates, a very, very strong man, grabbed the young man and put his head under the water. And the young man began to struggle and struggle and struggle and finally became incredibly frantic and finally brought him up. And he said, now what did you want while you were under the water? And he said, all I wanted was air. He said, all I could think of in the whole world was air. He said, when you want knowledge with the same intensity that you wanted that oxygen, you will get all the knowledge that you could desire. And when you want anything with great intensity, if you have the desire, you'll get it.
The enemy is not the world. The enemy is your reaction to it. You cannot control what happens outside of you. You cannot command the actions of others, nor the shifting winds of fortune. But you can command your mind. You can govern your response. And in that lies your power. When insulted, you choose whether to be offended. When wronged, you decide whether to retaliate or rise above. No man can steal your peace unless you hand it to him. The world will test you with pain, with failure, with the weight of things beyond your control. But it is not these trials that break you. It is your refusal to stand firm in yourself. Be like the rock that the waves crash upon, unmoved, silent, steady. That is strength. That is freedom.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail.
I'll tell you what, you'll be better.
The hardest things are usually the best. If it's easy, leave it to somebody else.
Do you know that the harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing? Nothing that has meaning is easy.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
If you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
To get anything of value, you have to sacrifice.